Hello guys and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's in-depth episode we'll be discussing Drayton Manor theme park, which is located near Tamworth in the UK. This is one of my personal favourite theme parks. It's apparently the 5th most visited theme park in the UK, about 1.5 million visitors a year. It has a really cool hotel. It also has a really cool little golf course. It's generally a really picturesque family run theme park which I really personally enjoy. It does have its ups and downs. It has the amazing Thomas Land, which if you have young kids, it seems to be always continually expanding with endless attractions and rides. Whereas it has some of the weakest roller coasters in the UK. In my video I've just finished for what makes a roller coaster rubbish, pretty much G-Force managed to tick pretty much every single box. It's probably the worst roller coaster I've personally ever been on. We won't go too much into it because I just simply don't want to talk about it. My top tip for this part would be avoid G-Force. Avoid it. Don't bother. It's not worth going on at all. There are 4 better roller coasters and 2 of them are kids' rides. In fairness, Shockwave has a great deal of nostalgia to me, but once again, it isn't particularly anything special. It's very short. It's pretty much 4 inversions back to back, and then a long turnaround back to the station. Top tip, watch out for the brakes. They are incredibly sharp. And the stand-up feature isn't particularly great. Stand-up roller coasters never really took off. They're very 1995, unfortunately for them. On the plus side, they have some of the best thrill rides I have ever seen at any park in the world. Apocalypse is possibly the best drop tower ever with its stand-up, sit-down and floorless features. I've never had to queue that long for it. It can even be run by one person somewhat efficiently, and even then it's a really scary ride. Even now but it's so cool. It's so much fun. It's intense. It drops you so fast and so powerfully. It's just brilliant. It has probably the best pirate ship I've ever been on, and certainly the best in the UK. Which is the Bounty. That thing is just insane. My mum is so scared to go on it. It's just really good. It has such a great feeling of weightlessness to it. And then obviously there's Maelstrom, which is just a stunningly better version of Vortex at Thorpe Park. It literally blows it out of the water. It is just an insanely good ride. It doesn't matter where you sit. It's comfortable, it's smooth, it just seems to have a long ride. It's just great. There is Pandemonium, which is a ride I used to really enjoy, and still kind of do enjoy going on from time to time, but I did prefer like it when it first came out. I think it's got slightly uncomfortable nowadays, but it's still absolutely excellent. And in terms of water rides, I mean, Stormforce 10 is just hands down one of the best water rides I've been on. It's so well themed. It's generally got a really good throughput. It has 3 very unique drops. The first drop's really cool. The second drop, top tip, if you don't want to get as soaked, sit towards the front. If you want to get absolutely drenched because it's a hot day, sit at the back. You'll find out why when you go on it. And then the last drop is just really good fun. The only downside is the lift hill to get up to the last drop is incredibly slow, and you are usually left being hit by a load of wind after being soaked, which is a little bit of a downside, but it's still a great ride. It's a long ride. It's great value for your time and effort you go on it. The rapids rides they have there is really cool. The fact it runs under Shockwave is also really cool, and that's excellent. It's a really good ride to go on. It's a little bit out of the way at the back of the park, but so. In terms of family rides, they have quite a good selection of them. There's lots of like random little attractions just which pop up everywhere every so often. I would highly recommend avoiding the Clone Light Shooter for whatever reason. The sensors on it just never seem to work for me personally. I have before touched the target with my gun and it didn't register. It's pretty rubbish. I wouldn't bother with it. It never has any queue, but it's just not particularly good. It's nowhere near as good as like Jewel at Alton Towers, for example. Let's also have a look at some things like the Drunken Barrels, or that's a great little fun ride which you can go on. Never seems to have that much of a queue and has quite high throughput, so it's quite good. Now thankfully there is the Haunter, which is a kind of dark ride which they have redone, and sadly it was being redone while I was there, so I haven't got to ride it again, but it's generally, I'd say the original Haunter was quite good. I think the story around it is really cool, and I think it could be a lot better having been redone. You also then look at Ben 10, and that is a great little kids ride. It's such a good fun little Vekoma boomerang. It's just really enjoyable. It's just what the park needed for their family audience. And you then do unfortunately have a little bit of a lack of, once again, roller coasters, where it's something that Drayton Manor really needs to invest in. I do appreciate me saying they need to build a new roller coaster and actually finding the funds to actually build one. There's quite a disconnect between the two. But Drayton Manor is screaming as a park for new investment in terms of the roller coaster department, and possibly also a really kind of standard log flume would also be absolutely amazing. Which seems really strange that you've asked a theme park to build a log flume, but since they've got rid of those to build Snowfall's 10, I don't think they really have that kind of family orientated water ride, unfortunately, at the minute, other than the Rapids, so they could really do with that. Where do you put all this stuff? Well, actually, Drayton Manor only uses about half of the space it has available to it. It has a 280 hectare site, and it uses 113 of it, which, when you consider it has a theme park, zoo, hotel, golf course, general park and everything, is absolutely insane. The fact that it actually just uses pretty much just about half, and there's so much room for expansion, and a part of me is so happy since I read that, because it means that Drayton Manor, if it was ever decided to develop, could develop at an alarming rate for a foreseeable future. It could be excellent. But what else is really good about Drayton Manor, I hear you say? The food. There's pretty much pizza and burgers, which quite thankfully isn't done by any fast food chain, which is run by the rest of the UK. Now, that is quite good, because it means you tend to get a very decent portion size. It tends to also have a kind of very much kind of like local Drayton Manor feel to it. And both of the main food places at Drayton Manor, which I've been to, have been really well. Really good. Yeah, no real complaints about food. If it's a really warm day, there was a great place to get ice cream near the entrance to the zoo. The ice creams at Drayton Manor are actually surprisingly unknown. It's a top tip. Go and get the ice cream there if it's a warm day, because as long as they haven't changed it too much, and I don't think they have, it's really good value for money, and you get an amazing ice cream as well, which is obviously excellent. So yeah, looking at it, Drayton Manor actually have a load of room for improvement. They definitely need new roller coasters. Obviously, building them is another thing as opposed to saying them, and they probably need a couple more water rides for the family. But it's a theme park which generally has a lot of charm and a lot of character. I tend to find all the staff there have been really helpful and friendly. I've never seen any kind of real problems or anything with the upkeep of the park. It always seems to be very clean and tidy. With the massive exception of G-Force, the park is pretty excellent, and I would highly recommend staying in the hotel. That's also really, really nice. Generally, really good hotel, just right next to the park. And also the mini golf course is there, and I'd highly recommend playing a little bit of mini golf. It's really difficult, surprisingly, considering it's just very simple, but that's a little bit of a tradition, is to play mini golf after you've just gone to a major theme park for the day, and it's a good way to end the day as well. Drayton Manor, generally speaking, one of my favourite parks. I don't quite know why when you look at the roller coaster situation, but it just has a little bit of charm, a little bit of being pretty unique. I love the fact it's family run, I love the fact it's not in by the mountain chain, and I love the fact it has room to expand and become even better. Just waiting for this moment when they decide to actually do that and put the, start putting the spades in the ground. Because when they do, they could probably build quite a selection of roller coasters and thrill rides, and not to mention probably massively expand something along the region of Thomasland, which is just such a great area for kids as well. I mean, obviously not really my thing, I'm a little bit too old for that now, I'm afraid, but I'm sure lots of younger viewers would really appreciate it. Right, this has been theme park information and the latest in-depth episode about Drayton Manor. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If not, fair enough, you don't have to enjoy it, I'm not going to come around and make you. But please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll hopefully catch you later. Right, bye.